Welcome back to the MOOC course on corporate social responsibility. My name is Aradhana Malik and I'm helping you with this course. And we have been talking about measurement and evaluation of corporate social responsibility and the activities that different organizations take on to assess, to evaluate whether the efforts that have gone into planning, into executing their way of expressing their concern, their responsibility of fulfilling their responsibility towards the society have actually made a difference or not. So we will start this discussion today with how CSR is benchmarked, in the real world. Of course, last time we talked about a variety of questions. We talked about these different questions that we start with. Who are we socially responsible? To whom? Socially responsive about what? Social performance judged by whom and by what standards? So we need to have some standards to judge our social responsibility and or to judge whether we have really been responsible to the society or not. But so different ways this has come about. And one of the ways in which the social responsibility is now assessed is by setting a benchmark in terms and the one of the most widely adopted benchmarks for finding out whether the organization has been responsible to its physical environment is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And I have a these are the Sustainable Development Goals. Let me show you what these goals are here. Okay, Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. There are 17 goals. Let's see what these are. So on 25th of September 2015, countries adopted a set of goals to end poverty, protect the planet and ensure prosperity for all as part of a new sustainable development agenda. Each goal has specific targets to be achieved over 15 years. We are talking about the country in general. We are not at this point talking about the profit-making organizations, but countries have come together and adopted these sustainable development goals, and what organizations do is assessed, is mapped against these goals that have been set for different countries by the United Nations. I will give you the links to all of these. I have a nice video that describes these goals. And this video has been put up by the United Nations. You'll get the link in the text that you receive so you can watch it.
The United Nations General Assembly was the scene of a celebration in 2015, when 193 member countries adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, a unanimous commitment to end poverty, fight inequality, and tackle climate change.
We need action from everyone, everywhere. 17 Sustainable Development Goals are our guide. They are a to-do list for people and planet and the blueprint for success.
The SDGs are an agenda to balance human prosperity with protecting the planet.
Imagine there's no countries.
UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador Shakira asked global leaders to imagine a world where we achieve the goals by 2030. While fellow UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador Angelique Kidjo underscored a focus on Africa and developing countries. But the universal agenda is important to all nations, as leaders from developed countries also pledged to make the goals a reality.
Poverty, growing inequality exists in all of our nations, and all of our nations have work to do, and that includes here in the United States. And that's why today I am committing the United States to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
The Sustainable Development Goals build on the success of another 15-year plan. Created in the year 2000, the Millennium Development Goals sunset at the end of 2015. The MDGs halved extreme poverty, achieved equal primary education for girls and boys, and dropped HIV infection by 40%, among many successes. The SDGs go beyond the MDGs by improving the lives of everyone, everywhere, and create a better world for future generations.
Today, we are 193 young people representing billions more.
The youngest Nobel Peace Laureate, Malala, calls on world leaders to keep their promise to every child.
Each lantern we hold represents the hope we have for our future because of the commitments you have made to the global goals.
And Pope Francis advised world leaders to put humanity and the environment over politics.
Los gobernantes han de hacer todo lo posible a fin de que todos puedan tener la mínima base material y espiritual para ejercer su dignidad y para formar y mantener una familia.
193 nations unanimously committed to the Sustainable Development Goals.
It is so decided.
But the journey starts here. Now's the time to take global action for local results and move our people and planet towards a sustainable future.
So these are the sustainable development goals that United Nations has decided and that many countries have adopted and are working towards achieving. And what organizations do, what profit-making organizations do, is mapped against these sustainable development goals. They are an international benchmark for finding out whether what we are doing is really necessary, for finding out whether the direction we are going in is proper. They also give us a direction to proceed in, and so they are very useful, and they affect what the kinds of resources we get and the way we disperse our resources. Okay, now different indexes have been have come up over the years to rate corporate social responsibility, and these indexes have been grouped into three broad categories by Jankalova. And so these indexes are either indexes that explore the structure of sustainability. There's a group in which the structure of sustainability indexes is explored, those that explore the purpose of sustainability indexes, and those that explore other dimensions such as their application by the evaluation of CSR activities of the company. So three different types of indexes are there, and their evaluation is based on these parameters. Now, different types of sustainability indexes, we will discuss one of these in great detail in the next lecture, but in this lecture let me show you a few things here. Okay, now this is the US spinindices.com. This is the output of these indexes in various ways. ESG stands for economic, social and governance, three criteria that form the core of these indexes. So you can go to this website and see how these are. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay, aligning impact with income, for example, aligning sustainable development goals with investment objectives. So you can see here and see, there's a carbon scorecard, for example. So, whether it is really making a difference or not. And there are reports that find out how much of carbon footprint different companies are leaving on the environment, and whether it is really affecting the environment, and whether reducing the footprint adds value, tangible value to the organizations or not. So you can actually go through these, and these can give you a very good idea of how the output of these indexes is. The other one here is hold on, I'll just show you. Okay, this is the Dow Jones diversified index family, and you can actually see how this shapes up here. So you can go to the online assessment portal and see how this shapes up, and the offshoot of this is Robeco SAM Corporate Sustainability Assessment. We will discuss this in greater detail in the next lecture, but for now I am just showing you different things. S&P Dow Jones Indexes, various types of indices that are there, and how they affect or how their impact is measured is all over here. So you can find your index and you can search by keyword. You can see, you know, what does ESG success look like. So you can actually download these files and go through them and see what their successes look like and what happens as a result of adopting or going by certain benchmarks and doing something about our commitment to the environment. Then there is the FTSE Russell index, which has come out of United Kingdom, and so you can go through this index here. So various ways in which they assess the impact of responsibility efforts on the environment and on the organizations themselves. Then you have the Ethical Forum, which is based out of Belgium, Ethical Sustainability Index, and this too then here, Ethical Sustainability Index Excellence Europe. So you can go through this and you can see what they do. So it serves as the selection universe for the index components, and then the ratings come up and the impact of those ratings is assessed. Then we have this global we have the stocks global ESG leaders. We have the global challenges index, which has come out of Germany, and this focuses on 7 global challenges for this millennium, which politics, society and economy must face up. So they have identified these challenges. Let me increase the screen size so you can see this. Yeah, I hope it's, or maybe a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, I think now it should be visible. Combating the causes and consequences of climate change, securing adequate provision of drinking water, stopping deforestation, preserving biodiversity, dealing with population development, combating poverty, supporting responsible governance structures. So what the activities that organizations do are mapped against these guidelines that are given. There are questions that are asked on each of these parameters. I'll just show you an example, and that will make things very, very clear. That will be in the next lecture, but this is just an example of how CSR is assessed. Okay, so global challenges index is there. Then we have the Heng Sustainability Index series, which has come out of Hong Kong. I have that pulled up here also. Let's see if I can show this to you. So you have the international focus on corporate sustainability encompassing environmental, social and corporate governance. So they also have these 3 parameters and their indexes available on the website. So this is how the corporate responsibility is assessed in or mapped and measured, and then there are certain things that are asked of the organizations. Their responses are taken in, they are rated, they are compared with others in the business, and then these comparative ratings come out, and that is where we will stop in this class, in this lecture, and I will take you through a detailed sort of overview of one of these indices that I've just talked about, to give you an idea of what these corporate responsibility reports look like. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and please watch these 2 lectures, this one, the next one and the one after that together. Please make sure you have time. It will make sense to you only if you watch these 3 lectures all in one go. These will start making sense to you because there's a continuity here. So thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the next class.